Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dahna and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Phasal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrek 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dahna.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dahna is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dahna, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dahna's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shionne and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dahna suffer the same fate, ever.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renis Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shionne's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength. It's that it's sentient, too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shionne's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up. Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
What do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renan rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Dahnans started pressing their own.
Renans, Dahnans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day...
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
I think Hoodle senses something. Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No, I mean... Wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
Get him, Hoodle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hoodle!
Ow, ow, ow! Seriously, what the hell? You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zeugles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dahna, let alone up in Lenegus.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zeugles originally used to be living creatures native to Dahna and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zeugles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zeugles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zeugles aren't so different after all.
You guys want to rest here?
Why are you staring at me?
I could ask the same thing.
So this is how the Sovereign and Maiden are supposed to look. You two go great together.
Law, come stand between us.
Oh, sure. You want me to put something white on as well?
Of course she doesn't.
Take a closer look, Shionne. It's a miracle.
What are you talking about?
This outfit, it's already got blue accents on it.
So I see.
I love how much amazing food we get to eat even when we're out on the road.
Me too, especially compared to what I used to have when I was still a slave. This is paradise.
It's amazing what good food can do to keep your hopes up. Nagal used to say all the time that the power of food is subtle, yet profound.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? For whatever reason, I find I don't worry nearly as much when I've got a full stomach helping me out.
That's why you shouldn't be such a picky eater.
Huh?
She's right. You always leave food that you don't like on your plate when you're done.
Come on, what's the big deal?
Back in the day, I couldn't think about leaving any food. It was such a waste not to eat at all. You needed every last scrap of energy.
Exactly. Even when my brother and I didn't have much to eat, we all did what we could to make it taste good and enjoy what we had.
That definitely explains a lot about why you cook the way you do, Kisara.
Dohalim, I bet you don't know what any of that's like. You must be used to food being handed to you on a silver platter.
Sometimes it was gold.
You didn't shy away from that at all.
Although, there was one experience that does come to mind.
Oh?
When I first learned that the food I ate originally came from animals and fish, I was rather taken aback.
You just ate whatever was in front of you without even thinking about it?
That's a silver spoon elite for you.
Your cooking has really improved, Shionne.
It's because of you that I understand what makes it so fun. I'm glad everyone seems to enjoy what I make too.
I've noticed a disturbing trend that after it's your turn to cook, our ingredients tend to run really low. What's up with that?
That is a good point, Law. There's a weird difference between the amount of ingredients she prepares and how much food actually gets served. Curious. Very curious indeed.
I don't know. Isn't it pretty normal for veggies to shrink a little when you fry them up?
Or maybe she eats all the bad batches herself so we won't notice.
Come on, I wouldn't do anything like that.
Then how would you explain the difference?
Ahem. I have a theory that I wish to propose.
What is it?
As we all know, Shionne here can have quite the appetite. I imagine she often taste tests her own food as she prepares it. By my eye, it would appear that her footprints are leaving deeper impressions as of late. Far be it from me to level such an accusation, but the facts lead me to conclude that...
She's been snacking while she cooks.
And yet, she still looks so slender in her clothing.
Yeah, I'm kind of envious, actually.
Wait a sec, are you guys trying to say she's...
I'm what?
Nothing?
Nothing. Shionne, about that fight just now.
Sorry about that. I was careless.
I didn't come to criticize you. Just please take better care of yourself.
You don't need to worry about me. In case you forgot, I can't exactly die anyway. It's like how you used to not care about getting beat up because you couldn't feel pain, and then I was the one to patch you up. It's the same thing.
You're right. That is how I used to be. But this isn't the same.
Then what do you mean? How is what's happening now different from what happened then?
It's different now.
Look, if you mean because you can feel pain again,
It's because I don't want to see you getting hurt. You're right. When I couldn't feel any pain, I put myself in all sorts of dangerous situations. I didn't listen to anybody's warnings, and I made a lot of people worried for no good reason. I was foolish. This isn't about you and me being able to take pain. I don't want to have to see you get hurt, Shionne. It's too much for me to take. Is that a crazy thing to say?
No, it isn't. And I definitely don't like seeing you get hurt either, Alphen. We can't expect our enemies to show us any mercy, but I will do my best not to throw myself in harm's way out there either. How does that sound?
I'm sorry if I sounded harsh earlier. I didn't mean to. I just really want you to take better care of yourself.
I will. At least, for as long as I can.
What do you know? Another big fire monster with nothing better to do than get in our way!
I wonder where the rest of those lights ended up landing. It looked like they were pretty scattered.
Well, whatever they're after, let's just hope none of them are anywhere near a city. An ambush on civilians is the last thing we need.
Well, no rest for the wicked, right? Though with 1 down and 3 to go, it sounds like our headache is just beginning.
I thought you liked the opportunity to flex your muscles.
Against those things? It's not like I have a death wish. Besides, we've already got our hands full saving the world. Dying stupidly won't be much help to the cause.
Yeah, I guess I can't argue with that logic. Sorry.
Rinwell, mind if we chat a little? What's wrong? You're looking pretty down. Something on your mind?
Yeah, you could say that. It's just, well, there's something that's been eating away at me for a long, long time. Do you mind if I share it with you?
Of course not. I'm glad to listen.
See, my mom and dad used to tell me I shouldn't go around casting magic. But there was one time I did, behind their backs. And when I did, Almadria showed up.
Huh?
I hated Almadria for destroying everything I loved. But what I hated most was myself. For breaking my promise to my parents. Even though I swore I'd get revenge, there was always this nagging part of me that wondered if I even had any right to do so.
Rinwell, it was Almadria who killed your family. Don't torment yourself over one mistake.
How can you say that when my mother and father died because of me?
This may not comfort you much, but I'll say it anyway. I have a feeling your parents always knew something like that might happen.
What do you mean?
There was always a chance that someday, someone was going to find you and your family. But even knowing the risks, they still taught you magic. And there are 2 reasons I can think of for that. First, your talent. Second, they were hedging their bets.
Huh? On what?
On you, Rinwell. On how you turn out when you grew up. Sure, learning magic may invite danger, but it would have been even more dangerous to live in hiding without being able to defend yourself. They knew what they were getting themselves into when they taught you magic. And I think they did it because of how much they loved you.
Because my mother and father loved me.
Sorry, I know I shouldn't be putting words into your parents' mouths.
No, it's okay. I used to think I would have been better off if I never knew how to use magic. And if I'm really honest with myself, sometimes I still think that. But after traveling around with all of you guys, I've learned that there are things I can do with magic. That there's a point to it after all. So I'm going to keep trying. I'm gonna try and accept it as part of who I am. I want to use it to protect my friends. To protect the future of Dahna. Do you think that's selfish of me?
Not at all. I wouldn't want it any other way with you, Rinwell.
We should really get some rest. Another day, another Gald.
Hoo-hoo-hoo! Hoo-hoo-hoo!
My word. This must be the work of Providence.
Prova what now?
It means destiny. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, though.
Always good to be back in familiar territory. You see anybody around here who could use our help?
We can't chase after every little thing.
Yeah! Hey.
Uh-huh.
Yeah! Just...
I guess... Thanks.
Huh?
Well... All right.
All right.
I guess.
Whew.
Got it.
Is this the barrier that's keeping the Zoogle in that Nath mentioned?
Looks like it. Our Zoogle pal should be on the other side.
This barrier is weird. It looks old and half-finished. Plus, he said it was okay to break.
I mean, we won't need it anymore once the Zoogle's gone, right? So what does it matter? Did they really think that barrier was enough for a Zoogle like that?
It was. That thing was sturdier than you give it credit for.
Really? So that's the Zoogle, huh? This should be a piece of cake.
Don't get careless, Law.
That thing looks pretty menacing.
Nothing we can't handle.
Out of our way!
Take this!
Radiant, over here! If it's hot, back it out again! Another shot in your dreams!
Go for the weak point!
Take this!
Here goes! Up and at 'em! Let's go!
Sword armor won't save you!
Explosion!
No dawn shall break this night.
Here's a hero! Wailing Dancey of lightning!
Now, tornado drive!
Here!
Now you see what I can do!
Sword Lane Alpha!
Here! Thunder Field!
Throw it, escape!
Alright, good hit! Here's evil!
Not today!
Really?
Infernal Torrent!
A wailing Banshee of lightning!
You're mine!
Divine savior!
I'm not done!
Armor won't save! Knock it into next week!
Hold on to your heart. Mine. Here I come!
Thunderfest!
Glacial
You're mine!
Spear! Pierce evil!
Flame inside me! Yours!
Lead the enemy's arc to me!
No complaints here!
Out of this! Polar Blade! Infernal Torrent!
Amazing. I'm nearly done for.
I owe you, Shionne.
Healing is what my art can best.
All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction.
Elusive deity! Far enough!
Lightning over
Sword Lane
now!
Alpha! In an instant! Impact Claw!
A whirling annihilation!
Polar Blade!
Sword
Lane Alpha! Sword Lane Alpha! Double Demon Blade!
All back in their defense!
Glad you have your use.
Not today!
I'll show you how useful I can be!
Here comes the big one!
Armor won't save you!
Double demon fang! You're
By the power of water! Divine State! I can do this! Hold on to your armor! Here I come!
Rending you apart!
Lightning condemned!
Bloody harder!
Illuminate the sun! Come forth, holy glimmer! Holy land!
Sword
Chain
Lane
between
Alpha!
heaven and
Ready
earth!
and ready!
I'm all stuck
I
up!
can
A
carve
wailing
through
DMD
armor.
of lightning! Mega ray!
Double demon!
It looks like you got this one covered!
To be let free!
Radiant blood! Here!
Denied! Ready and ready!
Raging
In a
cascade!
bind!
Swallow blade!
Radiant light! Here! Better!
I'm not done!
Let's go!
Sword Lane Alpha!
Outstanding form!
Time to let it rip! Pierce through!
Pull myself
Thunder!
together!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Will this help? The waters of creation!
Sure!
Dance immortal
You're
power!
mine!
It's weakened!
Front! This ends
Take
now!
this!
This one's all mine! Not today!
I can carve through armor!
Swallow blade!
The enemy is going all out!
You're mine! Double demon fang!
Chain between heaven and earth!
Bloody howling!
being interrupted.
Iron expert, coming through! Aid!
I'm not done! Thunder! Swallow blade!
Denied!
It's on! You picked the wrong fight!
Where are you going? Dance,
Take
immortal
this.
goblin!
It's over!
I'll smash you!
Gemini
Double
Alpha!
demon fang! Double demon fang!
Now! Kisara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Huh? What's a letter doing in a place like this?
Hell if I know. I highly doubt that Zoogle was trying to guard it. Still, somebody must have left it for some... Law.
Huh? What's up?
Something up?
It's from my old man. My dear son, I wonder how things will be between us by the time you read this.
In any case, I first want to congratulate you on all that you've accomplished. Making it this far requires a strong body, fine technique, an unwavering spirit, and most of all, friends that you can count on. If you have all of that, then I, as your father, have nothing to worry about. Those things together will always keep you on the right path. That brings me to what I really wish to discuss with you. As with all of us, there will someday come a time when you'll be a grown man who can and must think and act for himself. Whether you'll live in a world where blood will no longer be spilled between Dahnans and Renans, or when that day arrives, nobody can say. But even if peace still eludes us then, you'll have to decide how to live in this world. Listen to others with an open heart, but don't be swept away by their words. Always live on your terms. One more thing. If I ever see you again, I hope to say this to you in person, but neither of us knows what tomorrow may bring. Know this. Whatever you think of me and what I've done, your mother and I love you very, very much.
And there's nothing in this whole world that will ever change that. Your father, Zephyr.
Zephyr.
I can't believe he's only telling me all this after he's gone. What am I supposed to do with this?
Zephyr once told me that living freely meant being your own master. I think he wanted to make sure you know how he felt one way or another. What you do with that knowledge is up to you.
But that still doesn't explain why his father left that letter for him here, of all places.
Don't forget, we were led to this place. We may well get some answers if we go back to the source of all this.
Hey.
Hey. I guess... No way. Damn. Whew. All right.
This is...
Thanks.
You okay, Law? You seem kind of quiet.
I'm fine. Just feels a little weird returning home now that my dad's not here, I guess. Oh man, sorry. I didn't mean to bum you out too.
So I guess that means you'll be visiting your dad's grave while you're here. Right, Law?
His grave? What are you, nuts? There is no grave. The Rena would only destroy it the moment they found it.
Back before Calaglia was liberated, dead slaves would be dumped in mass burial sites. Either that or thrown on top of a bonfire. We got used to cremating our own to deny them the pleasure. Then we'd sprinkle the ashes from high up as a way of returning them to the motherland.
It's all we could do. That's the ceremony we had when my mom died, too.
But that was back then, right? Calaglia is liberated now. There's nothing to stop you from raising a true grave anymore.
I suppose you've got a point. Once you've been doing something for generations, though, it sort of begins to take root. It's a tradition of its own now.
My dad wouldn't want that anyway. Cheap and simple, he'd say. Besides, I can't treat him differently than my mom. They might not end up meeting on the other side.
I hadn't thought of it like that. Wow, imagine. The two of them reunited, back home where they belong. They're probably watching over us right now, at one with great Dahna. There's something almost poetic about it.
That's why I can't afford to screw up. If I know my pops, something as paltry as death won't stop him from coming to box my ears. Still, better than being left alone, I guess. Better than never knowing. You hear that, Dad? I'll make you proud. You'll see. Hey, Alphen, what do you think of that chick over there?
Doesn't look like she really works out.
I'm not talking about her muscles, you dummy!
I think Hoodle senses something.
My word, this must be the work of Providence.
Prava what now?
It means destiny. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, though.
Almost time for my evening cup of tea.
You haven't left all of your lordliness in the past.
I find the sounds of the night to be rather comforting.
Hey, Alphen. Why do you like spicy food so much anyway?
You know, I haven't thought about that before. Maybe because when I couldn't feel pain, it gave me that kick I was craving.
But now that you can feel pain again, wouldn't your tastes have changed?
Did you like spicy food when you were younger?
Not as much as I do now. At some point, it just became something almost like an addiction, I guess.
I can most certainly relate. Once you've had your fill of ordinary food, you cannot help but seek out more unusual fare.
I don't think that's got anything to do with Alphen's tastes. Although I won't deny that you definitely have a thing for exotic food. The stranger the better.
I just wish I could have gotten you into sweets like me, Alphen.
I like food that's dense and keeps you feeling full myself. It helps you last longer when you're on the move.
We all know you're a quantity over quality kind of...
What was that?
Nothing. I lost my train of thought.
You know, I've also noticed Shionne's not really into the same kind of food most Renans are. Could be it's got something to do with the way she grew up.
That's so me. Even when I was little, I was all about food that gives me strength. All meat, all the time.
And I guess Kisara is so good at cooking fish because she can catch them herself.
I'm only good with fish because it used to be the easiest thing to get. When you work with something long enough, it comes naturally to you.
I like fish just fine, but what I really like about your cooking is how it tastes homemade. It reminds me of what my mom used to make.
Really? You know, I used to cook a lot of meals for younger kids, and they said the same thing.
When you get down to it, I guess the things a person cooks and the foods they like say a lot about the way they've lived.
What? Hey guys, I don't see any of our food anywhere.
What?
I know! The bag we kept it all in has vanished! Some Zoogles must have gotten in behind us and swiped the whole thing while we were fighting.
What? Huh? What are you guys talking about?
This affects you too, you know! We lost all our food, including all those sweets you love so frickin' much!
What? How could this happen? Those sweets are the highlight of my day! Oh, so hungry.
Hunger is like that. The moment you know there's nothing you can do about it, it becomes that much more unbearable.
Whoever did this, I swear I'm gonna make them pay for stealing our supplies.
All that's left now is this one lonesome apple.
Law?
What? Hey, don't look at me like that. I picked this apple myself. I'm not just gonna...
Food.
Hand it over.
Stay away!
Hey, I'm back. Huh? What the heck happened here?
Only a poignant reminder of how dangerous a food shortage can be in a collective. A serious problem indeed. And one we should all be mindful of.
I see. Does it have anything to do with why you're holding our food supply bag behind your back?
Hey, she's pretty cute.
Who are you looking at? Quit gawking and let's go.
Ow! I bet that one could give me a decent workout.
You're planning to fight it alone?
No way! I need your help.
Go no further!
Pieces!
If it cools up,
It's time to get out of the way.
Go for the weak points!
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm
Now's
here
our
to
chance.
stop.
I'm ready!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Don't mind if I do.
One final push.
Let's finish this off.
I'll do my best
Now.
not to disappoint.
Astral energy!
Say no more.
Hey, Rinwell, tell me about your parents. What were they like?
They were kind. That's the part I like to remember. They could also be strict, though, especially when it came to magic. I never understood why I had to work so hard to learn magic. Why we couldn't just be done with it and live openly like everyone else. Needless to say, that didn't go over well. Of course, if I'd had known that one day I'd be doing this, I would have taken my studies more seriously. What about your parents?
Same deal. Run through the mill. Told constantly that training was the only way to survive in a world like this. It got bad enough that I ended up running away and siding with the Renans of all people. And now, I've got that training to thank for being alive.
I know how that feels.
The first time we met, you risked using your magic to stop me from kicking my dad's ass. You could have done anything else. You could have ignored it. So, why?
Yeah, I guess something about Zephyr reminded me of my own father.
You don't say. So, did your pops and mine look a lot like each other?
Not really. Not at all, in fact. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt a resemblance, I guess.
Wow. Well, I won't pretend I understand, but I'm glad. Your dad must have been a great guy.
He was.
Maybe it's the snow soaking up all the sound, but something about Cislodia always feels mysterious to me. Solemn, almost.
When it comes to solemnity, I'd say our own Octalina Palace is no slouch.
I won't argue with you there. Still, that azure tint of the shadows on the silvery white snow, it has a certain indescribable quality.
Indeed. It was boorish of me to even suggest such a comparison.
All I know is it's freaking cold. Still, more pleasant now that the locals aren't quite as frosty towards us.
Well, excuse me if I'm too frosty for your warm self.
Oh, come on! You know I didn't mean you. Besides, really, I'm the one who...
How about we stop getting hung up on the past for a change? Take what you've learned and put it to use in the future instead.
An unexamined past can be just as dangerous in its own right.
Better that than obsessing over it like a certain someone I know.
Kisara doesn't mince her words, does she?
I could say the same thing about one or two of the other women around here.
Tell me about it.
I think I'll refrain from commenting on this one.
Hoodle, I've got some dried fish for you. You want some?
Forget that. Doesn't some tasty red meat sound better, boy?
Hey! Stop trying to coax him away with treats. Get your own adorable sidekick if you're so desperate for one.
He appears to enjoy being the center of attention.
Funny how things change. He and Rinwell used to be joined at the hip, or shoulder to talon.
It's not just Hoodle who's become more trusting. Isn't that so, Rinwell?
They do say pets and their owners act alike. I suppose since we've been together, I've done my share of coming out of my own shell too.
Well then, I guess with you and Hoodle, that makes us all one big happy family.
Sometimes when I'm deep in thought, Hoodle will come over and sit next to me. I only wish I could actually pet him.
Oh, you will someday. You won't believe how soft he is.
Wish I had that problem. I'm lucky if I can so much as look at old Featherbrain without him trying to claw me to ribbons.
Really? He seems tame enough around everyone else. Maybe it's just Hoodle's way of establishing dominance?
That's dogs, not owls.
What's going on when Hoodle pecks at you?
I don't know. Like when I'm talking to Rinwell, it's like he's trying to muscle me out or something. Unless... Wait, you don't suppose I make him jealous?
Come again?
Ow! Ah, get off of me, you insecure fluffball!
I rather think they make a good comedic pairing. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh.
I sense a strange power from this.
We finally made it.
I never realized before just how hot this place is. It's like being inside a fire.
You're only just noticing? Ah, yes, forgive me. The whole lack of sensory feedback situation.
That's the one. It's hard to believe I once worked in this soup, let alone helped spearhead a revolution.
And all with the mask concealing your face. It must have been very grimy beneath that.
Back then, we had our plates full enough dealing with constant abuse from our Renan overlords. It never occurred to me the air itself was oppressive in its own way. My head's spinning just with the effort it takes to walk.
I think that's called heat stroke. You might want to take a sip of water.
You mean that water that's been festering under the sun for days? I wouldn't chance it without boiling it first.
Oh, I know! I'll go to the dock and fetch us some clean water.
Water alone won't suffice. He'll need to ensure his sodium levels are replenished as well.
In that case, let's see if we can rustle up some rock salt. Alphen, you go cool off in the shade for a while. Shionne, stay and keep an eye on him.
And then there were two.
Bit of an overreaction, but it's still kind of them.
Maybe it's not the time, but this place brings back memories.
I know what you mean. We're back where it all started.
You don't ever regret meeting me sometimes, do you?
Are you kidding? You started all of this. Bringing down the wall, retrieving my sense of self. I have no regrets.
Welcome back, Law.
Hey.
Yes.
Just great.
How's this?
Got it.
Hey! Yay!
All right. Hey.
Hey! Yes!
Right.
Sure.
I don't believe this! Ah!
Okay!
Great. Good.
Nice work. Ah!
But this is...
Wow. This is
Yes!
Oh!
amazing.
Nice work. Very nice.
Thanks.
Yes!
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
Hey,
Yes. Oh.
Yay! What? Yeah!
Yes.
Yeah!
We avoided getting roasted in that ring, but what we could really use is something to cap this off.
sure. Got any ideas on what would be good?
Mabo curry. Fried bread stuffed with curry.
You'd probably buy out the whole stock. What's on the other side of this door, anyway?
Why ask me when you can just open it and find out?
This is...
But this is...
Right.
Kisara. Oh!
Wow!
Nice one, Alphen.
Thanks. Gotta keep up with the competition.
Personally, I prefer Bologna.